This is 5 Minute Feng Shui Podcast, episode 96. Yang energy improves your life. Welcome to the 5 Minute Feng Shui Podcast, where each week I talk about how to move energy and make money. You'll learn how to create a prosperous home and an abundant life using classical Chinese Feng Shui. I'm your host, Katie Weber, publisher of the Red Lotus Letter, Feng Shui Easing for Wealth. Each week, I'll cover Feng Shui topics that can help you improve your life, share inspiring stories, and always end with 3 easy-to-implement Feng Shui tips that you can put to work right away, and usually in about 5 minutes. Now let's get started on the 5 minutes that could change your life. Hello and welcome to today's episode of 5 Minute Feng Shui. We're talking all about Yang energy. That's right. This is the energy that keeps our blood pumping, that gets us excited. It's not the yin, sit there and meditate. That's very yin. But we're going to talk about yang energy. That is that up and moving, get it going kind of energy, red colors, bright light, excitement, sparkling lights, all the kinds of things that get us up and moving and get our blood pumping. And this is something that we really need. And boy, do we need it now here with COVID epidemic, it's pandemic. More than ever, we need some energy and infusion of energy. So let's talk today about yang energy and how you can use it in your home and in your life, because it is so important that we have it. Yang energy is what keeps us alive. It keeps us moving and going and working and pushing ourselves and having, well, fun and excitement. That's yang energy. Now, of course, yang energy is often associated with the male energy, but it really isn't just male energy. It's when we think of yin and yang, or yang if you want to call it that way, but I'm from Texas, I say yang, y'all. And yin energy is that energy that is sleeping energy, is what I would call it. It's like being asleep. You need rest. It's the time when you're quiet, when you're contemplative. Maybe you meditate. It's sitting in the bath and soaking. That's yin energy. Yin is dark and it retreats and it's holding kind of energy, whereas yang is going and blowing and exciting and active and movement and light, and it goes forth. Yin energy goes in, and yang energy is the type of energy that we need every day. That's what gets us up in the morning, is yang energy, and what gets us to sleep is yin energy. So if you want to think about those two kinds of energies that way, that's a really good metaphor for them. And as you think about it, it's really not so relative to male and female as yin and yang implies. If you think about it, sleeping and resting as opposed to being active and energetic. So, but even so, a lot of people say, it's a man's world, and it is true, because the world's a busy place. It's full of go drive, and that requires a lot of yang energy. And of course, without yang energy, we'd stay in bed all day and be too lethargic to get anything done. And Feng Shui needs yang energy. We all need yang energy. When Feng Shui was first practiced in its earlier days, it was actually a yin study. It was the assessment of burial locations that were selected specifically to give a family a long-lasting legacy. Then Feng Shui became a study for the living, not just the dead. Because, well, hey, the dead have it. They've got eternity to sleep it off. Well, we've got to get things going, right? We do. So we definitely want to think about Feng Shui now as decidedly yang. That means that yang energy is the preferred energy in a home. So while balance and yin and sanctuary and that kind of ideas is an important concept in Feng Shui, the scales really need to be tipped a little bit more yang direction, so that homes and businesses and offices are more energetic and that grow, and so that the people who live in those homes are more energetic and grow. Now, when a living space is yin, that energy tends to go in that direction. So that could be it could create all kinds of problems with loss, like loss of health or relationships, loss of wealth or physical vitality. It can even lead to death in extreme cases. It can also, like low metabolism, create depression, just sort of a downward outlook. And when I think of yin houses, a really good example that's very timely in today's world are hoarders. Hoarders have very yin houses. They become this receptacle of just stuff that goes in and never comes out. And that's what happens with those types of homes. Once they start in that yin direction, they typically stay in that yin direction. But learning the importance and value of both yin energy and yang energy means that when you have yang energy in your home's energy will be tipped in the favor of the spirit of yang energy. And that helps your family thrive. It makes your relationships fulfilling. Hey, it makes it maybe even a little sexy, right? And it makes your health vibrant and wealth is abundant. Now, when life is too yin, it feels stuck or dull. You don't feel like you're moving forward. And this is a time when you want to apply a really good, healthy dose of yang energies. And there's lots of ways to incorporate yang energy in your home, also to your health and to your life and even your personal outlook. So let's talk about some of those ways that you can develop yang energy. Well, the first one that comes to mind is to stop worrying and start acting. Many times we think that worrying is productive, just like ruminating over things is the answer. Eventually we'll worry our way out of a negative situation. Well, you know that never happens, right? That rarely works. In fact, it almost never works, right? Instead, we often put off making a hard decision or taking decisive action, choosing to worry instead. But once you make a decision or take action, you get amazingly out of your rut and life starts moving again. Even when I started doing this particular podcast, I had listened to a few other podcasts about feng shui, and while they had some really nice content, I've heard other podcasts on this subject, and many of them treat the house as it's a sacred place, and it's like, no, let's get moving, let's go. That's my take on feng shui. I want it to be active and energetic, and I don't want to put you to sleep while you're listening to this. And there are all kinds of things that you can listen to with ocean waves or meditations that you can listen to help you calm down. And I don't want to put you to sleep. I want you to get energized about doing things in your home. And that's what I decided when I was starting this podcast, was I want it to be an energetic podcast, because I want you to feel energetic about your life and feel motivated and excited about doing things around your home. So let's talk about too another thing that you need to do with your life, and that's to balance both yin and yang activity. So if you are feeling unmotivated or dull and lethargic, we got to get off our yin backsides, right? And get some vitamin X, and that means sun and exercise. Simply moving your body can clear the cobwebs out of your head and give you more energy too. The sun is a great example of yang energy. In feng shui and in the cosmos, the sun is yang and moon is yin. And studies have shown that the more exposure people have to sunlight, the happier they are. And in fact, the city of Honolulu was rated as one of the happiest cities in the U.S. So give yourself a good dose of vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, every day, as well as vitamin X. That means exercise and moving. I find that I remember when we first moved into our house, I had a bunch of new things I wanted to try and start, and I didn't know exactly how I wanted it to all work out and what I wanted it to be. I just knew I wanted to do something new. And before I decided on what that was, I didn't sit with my hands folded in my lap in the lotus position. Instead, what I did was I made it a point to get out and go walk every single day, first thing in the morning, after, of course, first thing after coffee. There's my yang drink. I have my yang coffee. It's hot and it's get caffeine, so it's got me going. But I would have my coffee and then I would go for a walk and I would listen to books about motivational books or books about business or life and topics that were interesting and that gave me new ideas and helped me think of new things. And that really made a big difference. So having that yang activity made such a big difference for me, and I started thinking of those new things that I wanted to do, and I really attributed it to getting out and moving. Now, you can also energize your house. Put on some fun music, throw back the curtains, pitch out the old, broken, and excess items that you have, and ruthlessly dust and scrub your house. Cleaning and decluttering is one of the best ways to get chi moving in your home. You can increase lighting, you can add a few plants. Landscaping is another great way to improve the yang energy that surrounds your house, and it raises the energy of your house too. So get outside and plant some new flowers or shrubs, add a water feature. Remember, what water is the best water? Why, that's yang water. That means bubbling fountains, that means flowing streams. Yin water, that's the toilet. So we always want to make sure that we want to have yang water. Everything needs to get yanged up. And I'm going to say one thing about yang energy, and that is we do have a yang metal year, and it's the 7th star is the reigning star for 2020. And I talked about how it could create breathing problems. I didn't know coronavirus. I don't have that crystal ball that pops up a name. I can just say I worried about having illnesses such as flu, or that could create problems with the lungs. And that's interesting because yin energy can be difficult to deal with and create its own set of problems. And when a negative or an energy is negative and it gets yang energy, it can become more negative. But right now what we want to talk about is adding yang energy to your home and life, because this is the kind of energy that is going to help sustain us through COVID and help protect us, because it's active, it's taking active part, like wearing your mask, socially distancing, washing your hands plenty of times, that kind of thing. So what else can you do? Value boisterousness. So often kids are full of life and energy, and instead of valuing it, we want to medicate them or shove a game in their hands and keep everything quiet. Go to a Starbucks now and you'll see people tapping on their cell phones and tablets, socializing, but there's no talking going on. And it's not that way in Europe. Like Italians, they're laughing, they're talking, they're engaging with each other, and not a little glass screen. Laugh out loud, enjoy personalities, have fun, and don't hide your personality by putting your lamp under a bucket. Shine on. The more we can be carefree and happy, even in this time of COVID. Okay, so maybe Starbucks right now isn't going to be full to capacity with people in there working on their computers. But before COVID, we know going in there would be a lot of people and not very much noise. Did you ever notice that? All the noise was somebody, the barista saying, Taylor, latte, chai latte, or what have you, calling the names. But everybody else was just kind of silently in their own little bubble. And we got to we got to value being out of those bubbles and be engaging with other people and having fun and like I said, laughing out loud. So rent some good funny movies and laugh your way into some yang energy in your house. Laughter is a great way to put wonderful energy in your home, and I love doing that. We laugh a lot in our family, so my house has a lot of laugh molecules all over the walls. Let's also talk about lightening up. In addition to laughing, literally, you can lighten up your house. Lighting is one of the best ways to add great feng shui and extra yang energy to your home and increase your good luck too. Lighting brings beautiful energy wherever it's added, so keep your home and office bright and turn on that chandelier in the foyer and the dining room. They're great feng shui, they're great for lifting energy, and they shine a light on all those little dark corners, and so they're not dark anymore. Really, lighting is a great cure-all for all kinds of problems too. Do you have a bathroom on the 2nd floor above your front door? Put the light on. Need to sell your house quickly? put all the lights on in the house and keep them on. It lifts the energy of your home and helps it to get recognition, especially when you're trying to sell it. Interesting story. My mom was selling her house. She and my dad decided to downsize. They were living out in the country and they had a property, and it was just becoming too much to keep up with. And they felt like, they just needed to be in town and a little closer to, shopping and medical appointments and that kind of stuff. Just driving an hour to and from to go to the grocery store just became onerous for them. And I remember she was trying to sell the house, and we were living in Austin at the time, and we had come down to visit. And as it so happened, on that weekend, her realtor called and said, someone wants to come see your house. And so can you please leave for an hour or two that afternoon? So we were all getting ready to go, and we're starting to make our way out the door. And I said, well, Mom, aren't you going to turn the lights on? And she said, well, what do you mean? And I said, when you want to sell your house, you turn all the lights on, like everywhere. And she had just left some on in the kitchen and I think a lamp on in the living room. That was it. She said, well, you do? And I said, yes, you turn every light on, every single light. You go to every room, you turn every overhead light on, you turn every lamp on, you turn every bathroom on. Everywhere. You turn every light on. Well, that's what we did. She said, I didn't know that. I hadn't been doing that. And whenever she was having, and they weren't getting any offers, so happens that we went through and ran around the house, turned every single light on, went away for our 2 hours because the people stayed at the house and stayed at the house and stayed at the house. And by 6 o'clock, this is 2, and by 6 o'clock that night, she had an offer. So this is the value. This is what lighting and yang energy can do for you in your home, and maybe if you're trying to sell. Always a good thing to do. But if you're having problems with depression, you feel like you're looking for a new job, you need to lift some energy, turn all the lights on. Great way to do that. Now let's talk about something that I don't talk a whole lot about, and that's annual energy. Now I did mention COVID, and I do believe that we have COVID. It was a sign that was coming with the reigning star of the year, and by star I mean energy. So we call various energies stars, and in feng shui this year in 2020, the 7 star is the reigning star, and the 7 star relates to lungs and breathing, and this year it's a yang metal, so it means more problems with breathing and with lungs. Now, the other star that metal star that has some prominence is the 6th star, and it moves around from year to year. Now next year it's going to be in the center. It'll be the reigning star next year, but this year the 6th star is in the wealth location. Now this isn't the money location, which is the north. That's your career. That is which is having some problems this year with salary and that kind of thing. If you want more information, definitely go to my website, redlotusletter.com/rat or /annual, and you can get the information about the annual movements and where they are all going and what they mean. But we're going to talk about the 6th star, because the 6th star is in the wealth location. In the career sector, which relates to your income and your salary, that has a difficult energy. And what are we having? Difficulties with jobs. 40 million Americans are out of work right now. And there's millions being laid off and let go from jobs all over the world. This is really a world effort. It's one thing that's united us. I hate to think that the world is united in our suffering, but we are. But back to the 6th star. The 6th star is really important because this is heaven energy. This is beautiful, bountiful energy, windfalls, help from people that just come right at the right time when you need them. That is the 6th star, and it's in the wealth location. This is where assets are. This is where investments are, real estate, stocks, bonds, savings, 401ks, that kind of thing. And the 6th star is planted in the wealth location this year. And where's the stock market? It has gone up, up, up. Now, granted, we had a pretty big dip back in March when the coronavirus was first announced and really became worldwide news. The United States stock market went down, but since then it's been skyrocketing despite all the job losses. I hate to say it now, it's turned out that when we hear of job losses, the market goes up. But if you're smart about that and don't and kind of move past that idea of it, which bothers me, but at the same point, you know, hey, my husband and I are having to take care of our future. We don't have a pension. All of our money is money that we accrue and amass ourselves. So I like the stock market, and we've invested in it, and it's been very good to us. So I just use that information as it comes. The 6 stars in the wealth location this year. That means the stock market's it has been up. Next year, I could see a big fall. So these are some things that are kind of coming up for me. So this year, it's in the wealth sector, but wherever the 6-star falls, that's the location of feng shui's most heavenly energy. The 6-star brings powerful men at a distance, older men, and people at a distance, and heaven people that can help you get ahead. Not just men, but but usually it is men. It's a yang energy star. These people, and in particular, usually men, they're called heaven men, and they represent that network, that who you know, the kind of people that can help you gain influence. It's also the energy that helps you with overseas travel or overseas business. That yang energy of the 6-star is really precious and valuable because it has muscle. So don't be afraid of using any kind of yang energy to make things happen, to take risks, laugh out loud, or get things done. Adding metal in wherever that 6-star flies, like in the southwest, in the southeast this year, is a good place to kind of get that kind of moving and grooving. It's also an area wherever the 6 stars, you want to add lots of light. So in the southeast, I love having lots of light in the southeast. So that means keep the lights bright, not candles though. Actual light. The flame is a problem, but lighting, like from lamps and twinkle lights and things like that, is terrific. And a really nice tip for you is to put a pretty plant like a tree or something with twinkle lights in it this year, and put it in the southeast corner, because that could bring you some really nice growth in your investments. So, and help you amass more money. So that's always a good thing, right? All right. Well, we have talked about yang energy today, and the value of it is that it can help get you moving and get you growing and get you expanding, and we want that. And especially in this year of contractions, we need some expansion, do we not? So let's talk about your 3 tips. Keep your house light and bright. Tip number 2, add movement to your home and your life. Keep some fans on, keep the lights on, get outside and move. Vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, get some sun. Exposure to sun is so important. It helps lift your mood. It lifts your serotonin. It's also vitamin X, right? Exercise. Get out and move. Get your body moving. It's hard to feel really down and depressed when you're out running and you're in the sun, or maybe you're riding your bike. These are great ways to add energy and yang energy into your life. Tip number 3 is energize your house. Throw back the curtains, repaint an area, redecorate an area, put in new fixtures, do little things around your house that improve it, organize it, clear up clutter, put in organizers in your pantry and in your closets and under counters and cabinets. It'll make a big difference when you are doing things on your house that energize it. Put on some fun music, watch some funny movies online. And laugh, have a good time. All right, well, this was a fun episode to do today. I hope you will get out and put some yang energy in your life and yang energy in your home, because it can help open up some doors, and it sell a house, like I said. All right, have a great week. Thank you so much for being with me today and every week on 5-Minute Feng Shui. I love to hear from you. Please send me an email if you have enjoyed this episode, and if you feel so inclined, I love it if you leave me an iTunes review. Means a whole lot to me, and I've got some really lovely reviews. And hey, drop me a note. Let me know if you've left me a review, because I'd love to thank you and on air. Let me know if you've enjoyed this episode or any other episodes you've enjoyed. Shoot me an email, katie@redlotusletter.com, and I would love to call you out here on the next episode of 5-Minute Feng Shui. Have a great week. Talk to you next time. Thanks for listening to 5-Minute Feng Shui today. Feeling stuck in your life? If you're tired of the slow lane and you want to start making changes in your life today, head over to redlotusletter.com to sign up for my free 4-week e-course, 28 Days to Prosperity. You'll get daily lessons on how to get unstuck and create financial flow in your life. So go ahead, what are you waiting for? Sign up.